So here's my short political activism project for psilocybin, the active ingredient in magic mushrooms. So at the start of this project, I sort of asked myself the question, well, what kind of what kind of illnesses can psilocybin treat, and can it really be useful in terms of the medical field, and also the scheduling of it, is that accurate? And so I pretty much came to the conclusions that psilocybin can be used to treat a number of different mental illnesses, specifically in the deficiency of empathy. Individuals who are lacking in this field can really get some help from psilocybin because it works on the serotonin receptors and really seems to increase emotional empathy in patients. So it can be really useful for treating ailments such as schizophrenia, characterized by a lack of empathy, bipolar disorder, all that sort of mood disorder stuff. I also answered the question, should it be a Schedule 1 drug? Came to the conclusion that that's a hard no. This drug is not physically addicting. It doesn't really have that high of a risk for abuse. So I really don't think that it should be a Schedule 1 drug like heroin. Here's some specific details and facts about the drug. Psilocybin has been, like I said, found to increase emotional empathy. Psilocybin has no form of physical addiction. Here's an interesting fact. Mice given magic mushrooms were less likely to freeze in fearful situations than mice not tripping on shrooms. So this kind of proves that psilocybin can kind of alleviate the stresses of major anxiety in day-to-day life. As far as possible limitations go, people tend to point to the fact that psilocybin can cause extreme anxiety in individuals. So you're more likely to tweak out and freak out the higher dose you take, but at the same time, you're more likely to walk away with a good experience. So as far as the actual content of this project goes, my actual political action plan was to sort of decrease the scheduling of the drug because it's a little bit ridiculous that it's a Schedule 1 drug placed with the drugs like heroin, stuff like that. People are actually getting really messed up on that kind of drug. So in order to achieve the goal of lowering the drug scheduling in psilocybin, we kind of need to do a few different things first. Education is probably the number one, I guess, factor in lowering the scheduling. The more people that are educated, the more people that are going to want to make change, want to change this old system that we've been using for quite a while. Could use up to 3 different steps, I guess. So step 1, like I said, get educated. Step 2 would be to sort of get out there, go to rallies, educate other people, spread the knowledge, really. And then step 3, sort of drafting letters and sending them to Congress to actually make some changes as far as legislation goes. So like I said before, step 1 is really doing a lot of research for yourself, kind of looking on the internet, I guess reading books if that's what you're into, talking to experts in the field, and really getting a good feel for what the drug does, what it's capable of, really all that stuff. So step 2 has to do with spreading that knowledge. So once you've actually become pretty educated in the subject, you can really start to educate others as far as the beneficial side of it goes. You can also educate them on the common misconceptions, things like that. Really just get people educated so that they know what to do and what's really the problem with this. So the third and final step is really getting Congress involved. So we could do this a number of different ways, but chiefly I think mailing Congress, sending them letters, telling them what exactly we wish to accomplish here. I think ideally lowering the scheduling of the drug to maybe a 3 or a 4 would be nice. That way we could test it in certain medical fields without all these limitations we have today. Researchers are not really able to get the drug because it's a Schedule 1 drug, pretty much the most dangerous drug out there. So really getting Congress to do that would solve a lot of problems for this drug and kind of put it in the mainstream in terms of medical findings in science. It could really be beneficial to a lot of people. So just to cap things off, learned quite a bit about the different uses of psilocybin, the limitations, pretty much everything about it. And I really learned that in order to get this legislation approved and to lower the scheduling of the drug, we really need to work together to educate ourselves, to educate one another, to really, I guess, have everybody on the same page as far as drug scheduling goes and the uses of drugs. Like, this drug could be super helpful in terms of treating certain medical conditions that we weren't really ever able to properly treat. So that's all, folks.